Good morning, my dear space students. How are you? I feel you all are safe. In previous part, we studied magnetic moving charges and magnetism. Now we are going to discuss the other part of the moving charges and magnetism. Whereas in previous part, you people derived the magnetic field in various cases. Biot-Savart law, Ampere's law, and the magnetic field due to current carrying coil, magnetic field in a solenoid in toroid. At the same time, you people also studied the magnetic dipole moment of current carrying coil and the magnetic dipole moment of revolving electron around the nucleus. But today I am going to talk the other part. Whereas in this part, we are going to study the force, the magnetic force on a moving charge in magnetic field, the electric force on a charge in electric field. And we are also going to study the momentous role of these two forces and these two fields in scientific field. And the force on a current carrying coil, the force on a current carrying conductor. At the same time, some measuring devices. But this video is confined only to discuss the magnetic force and electrical force on a charge and their momentous role. So first, the force on a moving charge. In magnetic field, the force on a charge in magnetic field. For example, there are magnetic devices are there. If you take two bar magnets, between them there is a magnetic field like this. Magnetic field. So between two magnetic poles, there will be a magnetic field. Here arrow indicates the direction of magnetic field. For example, in this magnetic field, an electric charge is entered like this. Let us take a positive charge entered into this magnetic field by making some angle with the direction of magnetic field. Here the direction of velocity of the charged particle is making some angle with the direction of magnetic field. When charges enters into a magnetic field by making some angle, then what happens? The charge experience force. As a result, the charge is moving in the magnetic field in an ellipse path like this. Why? Because the charges experience a force. Here, this force depends upon these factors. Here, what are the factors are there? One is magnetic field. The other one is the charge of the magnitude of the charge and the velocity of the charged particle and the angle between the direction of velocity and the direction of magnetic field. On those four factors, these are the four existing physical quantities here. On these four physical quantities, the force will be dependent. Now we can write the force on a charge. F is equal BQV sin theta. Here, what is B? The magnetic field. The strength of the magnetic field. What is Q? The magnitude of the charge. What is V here? The velocity of the charged particle. What is theta? Sin theta? The angle, the direction of velocity and the magnetic field. On those four factors, here this force will be dependent. Because of this force, now the particle is revolving in the magnetic field in a helix path. Due to this force, what happened? The charged particle is revolving in a helix path. Now, according to this equation, now if you take V, if V is equal to 0, if V is equal to 0, then what happened? 0 into something? 0. Then F is also, F becomes 0. So what do you understand? If the velocity of the charged particle is 0, then no force is acting on it. That means if the charge is at rest in the magnetic field, no force is acting on it. A stationary charge cannot experience any force in the magnetic field. Very most important, you should be remembered. A stationary charge cannot experience any force in the magnetic field. But the same stationary charge may experience force in electric field. The force on a charge in electric field. Again, you take electric field like this. What is the intensity of electric field? When we keep a charge in this electric field, here the magnitude of charge is Q. Now, the force on a charge in the electric field, F is equal to Q into. The force on a charge in the electric field, it does not depend upon velocity of the electric charge. If the charge is at rest, either it is in the state of motion, whatever it may be, the force, it does not depend upon its velocity. That is why a stationary charge can experience a force in the electric field. But in the magnetic field, if the charge is at rest, no force is acting on it. Now, you take this theta. For example, if theta is equal to 0 degrees, that means if the charges enters into the magnetic field parallel like this, this is the direction of magnetic field. If the charge is entering like this, yeah, the charge is moving parallel to the direction of magnetic field. If theta is equal to 0, what happens? Sin 0 is equal to 0, then F is equal to 0. Or if you take theta is equal to 180 degrees, anti-parallel, again F is equal to 0. So what do you mean? If the charge is moving parallel to the magnetic field or anti-parallel, anti-parallel means in the opposite direction. This is the direction of velocity. If the charge is moving in the direction of magnetic field or opposite to the direction of magnetic field, in both cases, no force is acting on it. No force is acting on it. If the charge is at rest, there is no force. If the charge is moving in the direction of magnetic field, no force is acting on it. If the charge is moving in the opposite side of the magnetic field, even though no force is acting on it. But according to same equation, if theta is equal to 90 degrees, if theta is equal to 90 degrees, then what happens? Sin 90, F becomes maximum. Sin 90 is equal to 1. F maximum is equal to how much? BQV. That means when the charges enters into a magnetic field, exactly perpendicular like this. So this is the direction of velocity. This is the direction of magnetic field. If the charge is entering into the magnetic field, exactly perpendicular, then the charge experiences a maximum force. That maximum force can be write like this: BQV. Here V is equal to velocity of the charged particle. Q is equal to the magnitude of the charge. B is equal to magnetic field, existing magnetic field. Of these three factors, the F will be dependent. Because of this force, the charge will move in the magnetic field in a circular path. The charge will move in a circular path in the magnetic field. When the charge is entering like this, angle is over 90 degrees. So because of this force, the charge will move in a circular path in the magnetic field like this. Why? Because here the direction of force, because of this force, and due to the direction of this force, the charge will move in the magnetic field in a circular path. Here the plane of the circular path is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Like this, if it is the direction of magnetic field, now the charge will move like this. Because of this force, the velocity of the electric charge does not change. The kinetic energy does not change. And no work is done by this force. But because of this force, the charge will move in the magnetic field in a circular path. Because of its direction. To know the direction of this force, there is Fleming left hand rule. By applying Fleming left hand rule, we can find the direction of force, the direction of magnetic force in the magnetic field. According to Fleming left hand rule, you take left hand, first three fingers stretches mutually perpendicular like this. This is thumb finger, this is forefinger, this is central finger. Both are mutually perpendicular. If the forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field, you keep this forefinger in the direction of magnetic field and the central finger in the direction of velocity. Then the thumb indicates the direction of force like this. This is forefinger. We keep in the direction of magnetic field. The central finger in the direction of velocity. Now the thumb indicates the direction of force. This is the direction of force. Here the direction of force is always perpendicular for the plane in which B and V will be there. For these two, it is always perpendicular. That is why, because of this reason, because of this direction, the charge will move in a circular path like this. So according to Fleming left hand rule, the magnetic force on an electric charge in the magnetic field, F is equal to BQV. The direction is always perpendicular. The direction of force is always perpendicular for velocity and magnetic field, in which B and V. So this formula is very most important. Now you come here. The force on a electric charge in electric field, F is equal to QV. F is equal to BQV. Just a couple of minutes you think the difference. No. Whereas this force does not depend upon velocity of the charging particle. In the electric field, if the charge is at rest or if the charge is in the state of motion, it experiences same force. It does not depend upon velocity. This electric forces depends only on the magnitude of charge and existing electric field. It is also not depends upon the direction of velocity also. Whatever the direction of velocity of the charge in the electric field, it does not depend. But whereas magnetic force will be dependent on velocity of the charging particle. It depends upon velocity and the direction of velocity also. Direction of velocity also. Here, the direction of this force is always in the direction of electric field. Here F is equal to always in the direction of electric field. But whereas here, the direction of this force is always perpendicular for B and V. In which plane B and V are there? For those two, this force is perpendicular. That is why the particle is revolving in a magnetic field in a circular path. The plane of this circular path is perpendicular to the magnetic field. But this force, so then this force provides the required centripetal force for electric charge. We can write like this. dQV is equal, it provides centripetal force. This is the magnetic force on a moving charge. When the charge is enters in the magnetic field, exactly perpendicular. So this is centripetal force. You people studied in first year. Here mass of the charge, velocity of the charge, radius of the circular path. According to this equation, or V R becomes mv by dq. If you want to know the radius of the circular path, it depends upon mv dq. V is equal to velocity of the charge, mass of the charge, q, the magnitude of the charge, the radius of the circular path. So, electric and magnetic forces. For example, if an electric charge is experienced these both forces simultaneously, then what happened? It may experience electric force and magnetic force simultaneously. Then the combination of these two forces, are called Lorentz force. What do you call? Lorentz. Lorentz force. What do you mean by Lorentz force? The combination of magnetic force and electrical force on a charge in magnetic and electric field. Called Lorentz force. So Lorentz force is nothing but the combination of these two forces, electric and magnetic forces. So we can write like this. F Lorentz force is equal to the magnetic force and electrical force. So magnetic force is what? dQV. This is now I want to bring the momentous role of these two forces, the importance of the significance of the magnetic force and electrical force on a moving charge and magnetic and the electric fields. Today we studied the magnetic force and electrical force and their momentous role. But today, so in this video, we are going to talking the force on current carrying conductor in magnetic field. The force between two straight current carrying parallel conductors and the torque acting on current carrying coil. So just limited to only three topics. The force on current carrying conductor. Current carrying conductor. If you take a current carrying conductor like this, this is a current carrying conductor. this current carrying conductor is placed in magnetic field. So this is the direction of magnetic field. So this is the direction of flow of current. So the direction of flow of current in the conductor making some angle with the direction of magnetic field. And let us also consider the length of the conductor. Here L is equal to the length of the conductor. Now the force acting on the current carrying conductor F is equal to BIL sin theta. Same what analysis we have done in the case of the force on a charge in a magnetic field. So the same analysis we can extend to discuss the force on a current carrying conductor in magnetic field. So BIL sin theta. If you keep charge, F is equal to BQV sin theta. The force on a charge in magnetic field. The force on a current carrying conductor in magnetic field. BIL sin theta. L is equal to what? Length of the conductor. I is equal to current in the conductor. B is equal to magnetic field. Theta is equal to angle. Angle between the magnetic field and the direction of flow of current. If theta is equal to 90, then what happened? F becomes maximum. Here F becomes maximum. F max. BIL. The maximum force on current carrying conductor in magnetic field when if the conductor is placed exactly perpendicular to the magnetic field like this. This is the direction of magnetic field. So this is the length of the conductor. Now the angle between B and I is 90 degrees. Now the conductor is placed in the magnetic field exactly perpendicular. Then it experiences a maximum force BIL. Again you take theta is equal to 0. Suppose if the conductor is parallel like this. This is the direction of B. If the current carrying conductor is placed in magnetic field parallel to the direction of magnetic field, no force is acting on it. It does not experience any force because here the direction of B, the direction of Y, both are in the same direction. Theta is equal to 0 degrees, sin 0 is equal to 0. So you should be remember, if the current carrying conductor is parallel to the magnetic field, no force is acting on it. Suppose if the direction of flow of current is anti-parallel, even though no force is acting on it. So when the current carrying conductor is placed in the magnetic field exactly perpendicular, it may experience the maximum force BIL. Here F maximum is equal to BQV. The maximum force on charge. The maximum force on current carrying conductor BIL. Again here the direction of force. See, the direction of force is always perpendicular for the plane in which B and the conductor is there. For these two, the direction of I is perpendicular like this. So BQV, BIL. The maximum force on a moving charge in the magnetic field. The maximum force on a current carrying conductor in magnetic field, BIL. When current carrying conductor is exactly perpendicular, then it may experience maximum force. Now, I want to bring one magical experiment of ampere. For example, the name of the conductor is E. The current in the conductor is IA. The length of the conductor is L. The length is how much? L. Now what happened? According to Ampere's law, when current is passing through straight current carrying conductor, around the conductor what happened? Some magnetic field will takes place. You people studied in the first class. The magnetic field takes place in all directions, three-dimensionally. So around this conductor, some magnetic field is existing. Around this conductor, some magnetic field is existing. Now we want to find the magnetic field around this current carrying conductor. So we have Ampere's law. According to Ampere's law, we remember the purpose of Ampere's law? To find the magnetic field due to straight current carrying conductor. We are using Ampere's law. So according to Ampere's law, B is equal to mu naught by 2 pi I by R. Now we want to find the magnetic field around this conductor. Now B, the magnetic field due to the conductor A. Then we can write BA. What do you mean by BA? The magnetic field due to conductor A. So mu naught by 2 pi, where I is equal to IA. Distance, how much distance will take? Let us say R. And let us say D. What will it be? So this equation gives what? The existing magnetic field around this current carrying conductor. Mu naught by 2 pi I by A. Okay. Now, here Ampere got one magical idea. Now he want to bring another current carrying conductor in this magnetic field. Now, if you keep another current carrying conductor, this is B. What is B? Another current carrying conductor. So it is placed in the magnetic field, which is produced by the conductor A. So in this magnetic field, we are keeping another conductor B. The current in this conductor is IB. The length of this conductor is also L. Now what happened? Just now we studied. When we keep a current carrying conductor in the magnetic field, it may experience force. The force on this conductor. Now we write force. The conductor B experiences a force. Then we can write FB. FB means the force on B. How can I write? BIL. This conductor experiences force. B is equal to what? The existing magnetic field. Here the existing magnetic field is BA. This magnetic field is due to the conductor A. I is equal to the current in B, IB. Now we can add MB. This is the force on B due to A. BA is equal to what? The magnetic field, existing magnetic field. Mu naught by 2 pi. Here is there I1, IA, sorry. Here I is equal to how much? This is the force on B. So we take current in B, IB. Now what happened? In this magnetic field, when we keep a current carrying conductor, it may experience a force. So again here the direction of force is perpendicular. I think this is in this direction. This is the direction of current. This is the direction of magnetic field. For these two, the force is perpendicular. Here the force is take place inward. Now, do you understand? So what is this? The magnetic field due to the conductor A. So we can write this as per Ampere's law, mu naught by 2 pi I by R. I is equal to what? Current in the conductor A. Now this is what the force on B. In this magnetic field, we are keeping another current carrying conductor. Now this another current carrying conductor B experiences force. We can write force BIL. Here B is equal to BA. Now you take this conductor B.